Well, today is the 13th, Monday the 13th of April, and we're still on lockdown from the coronavirus, COVID-19. Tomorrow they're going to attach our underground power. That's a good time to take a walk around. Talbot's getting his mobile in. They just aligned it up there. I wanted to take a quick shot of that just for reference. That's the current state of our lot. Some rounded logs there. This has all been cleaned up. That was a mess before. It's still a mess, but I mean it's a lot less of a mess. I ought to go down and have a quick look at my firewood pile back here. Just on the way down the road, we'll go by here. Two generators, solar, battery pack in there, 4 deep cycle 6-volt golf cart batteries. So pretty soon, this kind of gets me excited. Our unit was supposed to be in April or May, and now it's July or August. But I have these two piles of wood. The one over there with the blue on it is stacked, and this is just dumped over here. Well, that's where the home is going to be, I hope, someday soon. There's my log splitter. Another pile of logs. I've cleaned a lot of this up, but I got more. Country line log splitter. Bit of a log jam. Anyway, looks like we're going to chop a big piece of our property off here. That's what this twine is kind of supposed to be, but I'm not sure. This is going to be the composting dump. Anyway, our property line goes to this stake, actually just kind of on the edge of this tree, right through, actually to the left of that oak tree. So oak tree is not quite on our property, at least until root surveyors get this pin right here. There's a pin sticking up right there. Anyway, that's a property marker there. Somewhere in there. So that could change our back line. Got all the stumps ground down out here. That was a big tree, and that's as small as they could get it for us, but that's okay. Gives me something to do. We got 3 apricots planted. Not sure how this one's doing, but got leaf curl. That's not a good sign. And this one doesn't look like it's doing all that good. Got buds, but I don't know. I need to get something around the stalk on it. And then this one, I'll probably come out and just snip off the middle spire, and then they'll go outward. It's supposed to be about that size anyway. So, but our new property line is right over here, the other side of the fence. So we lose everything back from here to the fence, which is about 10 feet right here. But I'm not sure we do lose that. Root's gonna tell us. This is kind of pie-shaped down right up to the road there. Goes through this stake, that stake, and that's where the new fence line is. As well, walk up to the boundary here. I think it's easier. There's that much more property we gotta take care of. Hear the birds in there? I can get a tractor, I can clean all of this up pretty quick. Well, they tore that up. That's what D-Rock tore this up. It went all the way back here. Well, I got about a 6-minute video going on here. So, between the steel stakes here, so I'll use that post and just put a small section there. There's Talbot's. I didn't set the thumb button on this. And everything's got to be done manually. We put a big strap around the whole thing, I think. That's electrical. A little flat tractor there. How they maneuver it once they got it on the lot. Sorry for all the jiggling around here. Go talk to Talbot. Thought I'd get some home movies.
I know my wife wanted a picture of our auto business. She left to work with us down here on 10. And so she's like, send pictures, but my daughter's recorded so many videos on the phones that
You ran out of space.
Can't delete them fast enough to get any space. Crazy how they bring them in.
Yeah. Well, they got to take the axles off and the hitches off.
Yeah.
So that's your biggest hold up. Now this is going to look nice back here. You already got your bulbs going.
Yeah.
If I can get the
It'll be all
color
right.
of that.
I'm glad it's here.
Yeah, I know that you're relieved.
I know she just got a message 2 days ago. Like 2 days ago, and then she got it like yesterday morning, but it was going to be here today.
Oh, that must have been exciting, huh?
Yeah.
But then you got to scramble.
Yeah. And then she said the hardest part I probably is going to be waiting for the next 6 to 8 weeks or however long it takes until it's all done.
Yeah, because they got to put the floors in and whatever else they say for last. Or you didn't have a stem wall put around it. You saved a lot of money, trust me.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
That was $60,000 for the new ours with the patio, and then I put a handicap wrap into the whole thing somewhere in there.
It's crazy.
Well, it's mostly for my mom right now, but we're getting older, so.
I don't think
Getting
anybody's
gimpy.
in the game.
No.
I know.
Especially with this taking it out of you.
Yeah, this last year and a half, almost 2 years, has kicked the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I'm used to holding the babies, but when we
They're
have a
actually
house, you can set them
growing.
down. Yeah, as they're growing, the few pounds they put on is killing them all.
I bet.
Oh, see, I woke up right when they started coming in. And my daughter just got up. She's looking up the window, but gets right on her phone.
There she is right there.
Yeah,
Going back and forth.
yeah, the boy, my son, he paces in there.
I think they're doing that to get the axle off.
This one.
Yeah.
And these
Then they
other side of
just
the
tip
axle,
together.
the ditch. There's a little ditch right in there. They're rolling right in there.
Oh boy.
Yep, you dropped a carrot.
What's that weird pipe on the roof up there that loops around?
I don't know. I was looking at that.
See if I can zoom in. Well,
Here's your carrot.
that's as much as I can zoom.
I used to do this stuff with bottle jacks and come along jacks
Uh-huh.
when I was younger. I was about
I know. We
17 to
used to do
21.
all kinds of crazy things. I had a single wide that I did that with. Just took a bunch of, pipes. Like galvanized pipes,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and fence pipes.
roll it.
Just roll the whole thing. Didn't take. You get a come along. You can put it where you want it.
That's what my buddy was saying. Plumber kid, he was moving these things for people with he had leftover really thick PVC piping, I guess.
Uh huh.
He's like, yeah, I just ran over with my neighbors. He's like, I can't move this thing. He was trying to pull it with his truck, but it was just jigging it.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, this is jacking up the ball jack. Throw some tubes under there and we'll roll it down the hill because he wanted to get it down the back of his
That's the way I was going to move before the fire. I was getting ready to move my shed down there that way. That was what I was going to do.
That's
My little tractor and a few
ancient techniques that work.
that
well.
work. And they built pyramids on that technology.
Yep. What are you doing down there? You're not even amazed. You're more amazed watching the dogs, watching man
So,
run them
all
up.
right. I'm too close. I'm gonna zoom back. I don't know if I can zoom back. There we go.
I'm excited.
Now I can see him. He's more concerned about what's on the ground.
Yeah, he loves that carrot. He likes the plastic fruits and vegetables. He eats a lot of fruits and vegetables. He gets the plastic one correct. Where are you going?
Leaving little hints, huh?
Yeah. Where are you going? Are you gonna move? Are you gonna walk? There's still filming this company, buddy?
Yeah, they got to hook your electricity up and your plumbing up.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna have to do some trenching for that, aren't they?
Well, the septic right there was standing.
Yeah, that's the easy part.
Yeah. And then.
But I mean, the water
out front, yeah.
you got to trench up for the water, and then your utilities right by it, right?
Yeah.
And this is your driveway here?
No, technically about 3.5 feet of the roof.
Okay.
See where they put my power on my gas line?
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
saying.
gave me 3 feet or 4 feet from the edge as my.
They extended your property.
Well, no, my pin's over there anyways.
Okay.
Because if you look at my lot on our
Well, everybody made allowance for everybody else,
the neighbors.
It's like our road, it's way off.
Yeah.
It's into my property a bunch.
I know Rollins' side has like 4 feet strip in there,
Uh-huh.
and then his access on his thing shows over there. But what
Oh, really?
Bradford did
From
is
Wheeler,
like you
huh?
said, you give your neighbor the allowance to have a driveway.
Yeah. Well, where he parked his fifth wheel is where his entry was then, huh? But he used this.
Yeah. I know, because not every year I turn my hedge up front because they go about 6 feet.
Oh, yeah.
So I hedge and trim it on his side real close, and on my side I have to kind of fold you and the top I cut off. But I'd have to do it so you get his motor room and get it walking. Have to go out and cut the whole bush on them. And then I butchered them down to the nubs and they blew up.
Yeah, that'll just make them grow out the suckers, or what do you call them?
Yeah.
Lateral branches will go nuts
Yeah.
because they're getting all the hormones.
That's just crazy. And the good thing is that most of the fence, even though the fence holding around, either we had T-posts holding it up on one side or the neighbors did. So that I just put the green ones in where there was no T-posts. Because Because Ron was asking if I was going to go out to the pin, and I told him, no, I'm going right where I was, where the T-posts are on their side and my side. Put the fence right on the inside of all these T-posts. That way there's still room for everybody to move around. And I told him that's like, 2 or 3 feet I don't need to take care of.
Well,
the caddy I got, my pin's behind their RV there, that little Dolphin, about 6 feet back is my pin. And it's in their actual driveway, like right in the middle of it.
Oh.
And she's like, yeah, I know your pin's over here, but the guy up front sold her dad like 6 feet straight down from their lot from that pin, so they could put.
That's not much of a driveway, 6 feet. You need at least.
He had
15 to 20.
Lane's supposed to be up in the dirt, and what they did was just cut a little bit and then cut on this side and then ran in the road. Because Dave said they all went in on it as far as he paved it or whatever, but they'd been going in on it since they were kids. The parents out here. It's pretty crazy just to know, because she's like, you're not going to move your fence out your lot. It's a freaking driveway. I'm not going to go cut half your driveway in half to get my lot.
Well, I got a pie shape between Les and mine. I'm going to take a few feet out of his, but I'm giving up 10 feet on the backside of my property. And I just want it right.
Yeah.
But as far as
all weird
even,
shaped, they're obtuse angles or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all cut.
But I mean, if I took my land, I would take half the front yards of all people in here. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's what that dude did with the fence thing. He just decided, this is what's mine, so that's what I'm going to shut down. Technically, you have to get that right of way to everybody, or go make a shit to the towns or whatever they're doing in the city or county. And it's like,
Well, actually, Root has to reshoot my backyard because I pointed out a pin he didn't know was there. He says, I'll reshoot it. So, but I haven't heard from him since. So
I know they found, but there's one there. It's like at the bottom of it. It's like at the edge of this thing. That's on Ron's side. This one, all they did is come and put a cap on it and a tag.
Oh, right there.
And then my other one's like, it's at a weird ass angle, so it's like that way. And then this one's way over.
Well, land shifts over time.
Yeah, slowly the pins even move.
Because every time you have an earthquake, things change. We had one the other day up in by Truckee somewhere up in there.
I don't know what the volcanology and that, which is he pays attention to the earthquakes and the volcanoes. Every day he's updating on his blog. He's up in Dunsmuir now. He got burned out there, up there. Oh shit, Indian Valley, whatever court, right there in Old Magalia. And he stayed till the whole dang thing was on fire around him. They were in there packing, so they had time to pack. His lady was sitting at lookout right there in Old Magalia, watching the fire with her son. And by the time she went to turn around to go to the house down in Indian Valley, she couldn't get to him. And he called me at 7 in the morning to tell me we were on fire. I was like, damn, dude, why did you stay for another like 5 hours before you decided to get out? And I guess I think a lot of that had to do with thinking you have time, but then when you don't realize how fast it's going.
When I knew the embers were falling, I knew we had to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to pack nothing. I mean, it's like I'm out with the goat, getting him on
I
a
know,
zip
miss
line.
you guys. Those goats were cool.
Well, he's still Chico.
He made it. He got to do his thing.
Yeah, he got rescued down by Feather River Hospital.
So
He made it all the way from here. I don't know how he did it, but he got all the way down.
He scooted down. He's smart.
Yeah, he's no dummy, that's for sure.
They're smart. They're smart animals. I've always had goats growing up.
Good
Any
thing,
goats.
if you want good gloves, don't use regular cowhide leather. Use goat hide leather. They're the best.
They
best
can freaking
gloves.
eat everything too, and anything.
Well, not mine. They were. You got to get the pygmy goats. If you get the pygmy goats, they'll eat anything.
That's what I used to have.
But if you got one of these guys, they're picky. They stuck their nose up at more stuff I couldn't believe.
You're all, what the hell's going on?
Well, we fed them. I mean, all the time, and we didn't need to feed them. But they got, they got hay and they got, kitchen scraps, all the veggies and stuff. That we, and we'd get extra stuff for them. The chickens, we would get. She'd go buy all of this green stuff she could get at the store. Yeah. The cheapest stuff you could find, and she would feed the chickens that and the goats.
We used to have chickens over here. And I think it was raccoons were getting them.
Well,
Raccoons.
you got to have a bulletproof coop,
Yeah,
and we
for
did.
sure.
And the raccoons will come early in the morning to get them. And if they're in their coop, the raccoons, you got a really tough coop, which I did. I built
you had
it.
a nice one.
I built it like a tank.
We looked at, all the chickens and the goats that my daughter always make me stop just so she can see.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Heck yeah, animals. She still wants animals. I told her we have enough room. Just got to get a good fence up. And then make sure they have a good spot. We can get them a small barn.
You know, they're saying according to the town code, you can only have 2 chickens.
I think they're high on crack.
I think so
They need
too.
to remember that they're lucky to be a town right now.
I agree.
With the amount of people in here, we could just say we don't want to deal with the town. You could just bypass them and tell the county, look, we're just gonna amend the town.
Oh,
as a
we
town.
need to. But the county, they still want me to do that ROE.
Yeah,
I got a call the other day. They sent me some paperwork,
yeah.
and I either have to go through a private company or their
Or their thing.
thing.
You're like, God. It's
You
so
know, this
crazy
is-
the
this
monopoly
is-
on it.
Almost a year and a half later. Come on.
They already
I
know.
chewed them out, and I said, I want to know your supervisor. I want to know who wrote this thing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't send any of that stuff.
Hell no. What do you do? Are you rocking out right now?
He's rocking out. He's a rocker.
Yeah, he likes music. All types. Well, you bored? You just had a bunch of oatmeal. You should be full.
I just found out. Well, my dad always he always said we were Scots Irish, and I never knew what that meant. Scots Irish. Well, that's Scottish and Irish, you know.
And some other stuff.
But it turns out that means you're from Ulster, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
In the Irish Republican.
Yeah, all right.
All that stuff. And they hate the Catholics.
Yeah.
And they hate the English Anglican Church
Yeah.
because for a while England was a Protestant,
Yeah.
and it went back and forth between Protestant and Catholic, and then it went Anglican, which was kind of Catholic.
Pants. I don't know why they do that.
So everybody that came from there were 12 presidents that were Scots Irish. Some of them were dirty dogs, and some of them were pretty good. Yeah. But anyway. I'm related to Andrew Jackson, and he's Scots Irish. I didn't know that before, until just last week. And I'm finding my identity.
That's right.
It's like, you know, I always kind of wandered around and didn't know. My dad didn't really let us know a lot. I found out, well, I'm named Weaver. That's not a trade name, at least not where we came from, was actually from England. Cheshire, England, a place called Nantwich, which has the Weaver River running through it. And so that's where all my family on his side came from. But I think even before then, I don't know. I know that there's a German side of the family, and they came from the Rhine. I don't know if you know much about Germany, but the Rhine area.
I mean, I've lost all my paperwork. We had my great aunts went around on both sides and followed, and neither one knowing they were doing it. But when they all kind of came back, when I got out of prison, my sisters acquired it from my great aunt. Her and her sister spent about 30 years following everything, all the way back from Missouri, where we came in on my grandmother's side.
Whereabouts in Missouri?
I can't remember, but I know when we left
My
Missouri,
grandmother was from Doniphan, Missouri. She was born in Doniphan.
and they were tobacco and slave people out there.
They probably were. I know
They came
her
out
side
here.
of the family were loyalists, which makes me think they were tobacco
Yeah.
farmers and stuff like that. Yeah.
'Cause we ended up Calusa, like the starting of Calusa was 2 ranches, and one of the great nephews, I think, came out as a ranch hand, and ended up buying all 3 of those. And then during that time, he was starting Stony Ford as a town.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no shit. And then so from there,
I love that
while they
town.
were doing that, other family members were up here in Quincy. Like his brother and them came out from Missouri, started in Quincy and Dunsmuir. And that was like, we have roots out here on my grandma's side.
All over the
200
place.
almost 250 years. Because they came out before it was even California, some of these guys.
Well, back when it was part of Mexico, it was all
still-
one big stretch of
they were
Mexico.
still cattling out here.
Yeah.
Because the pictures we had, I had think we went all the way back to 1400s over to Europe is what we had, and it was either handwritten notes from one to another or documents, and so we had all that. And then on my
you get
dad's
church
side,
documents, and
everything.
you get
So we're related to like
tax
most of the people I
documents.
met outside of Woodland and the smaller towns and the communities, even up in Nicolisa and Arbuckle areas, and up as far as like what is it, Williams. These kids and people I ran around with that I didn't know way back in the gene line, we're all freaking related,
Really?
like solidly related.
That's cool.
Because we used to be on my grandpa's side. He came from England, and he was English, I think Scottish, and he had some Blackfoot from being over here.
My uncle has Blackfoot.
And but his genes went
He's
so
gone.
far back that my name Talbot was the last name. And then when they came over here, they switched it from Talbot to, and there was Anders, right? And then they ended up being Anderson out here, and the Talbot ended up being a first name, and then they kept it Anderson. They adopted it when they were in Missouri, and it was weird because
1400 is right when they were adopting surnames. Yeah. I mean,
so it was kind of weird that a lot of the
you took on a clan name, or you may not have been related to the clan chief, but you would take on his name.
Yeah. You were part of that collective group. You ended up being. It was weird because even reading novels as a kid, and my grandma and them telling me, "Well, you're part of Werewolf Chain," because I started reading in there, and I was like, "Man, I believed it forever." And then when I turned gray, at like,
No wonder you turned into
16 years old, I thought I